In this presentation, we will process payroll for October, the third month of payroll for our payroll problem, and the first month of the fourth quarter for payroll reporting within QuickBooks. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. Here we are on the home page. We've got the open windows open. In order to open the open windows, you go to the view drop down and the open windows list. We are once again going to be running the payroll. We're jumping forward in time. We're now in the month of October. We have to imagine as we go through this payroll problem that we are jumping forward in time. We're going to pay people each month. Other stuff has happened, of course, with the business, but we're concentrating here on the payroll activities. Month of October, third month of payroll that we are processing for this payroll problem. We're in the employees section. We're going to say pay employees once again. Within the pay employees, it's remember what the dates are going to be. We now have the date at the end of October. We will then enter the period end date at 10/31/21, and you do have to just keep aware of this date here because although it could change, it should be in the proper date as we run payroll. It may not be, and you want to go up there and make sure that it is on the proper date. Otherwise, we're going to have issues with the timing of the payroll. And then the check date we're going to say is going to be the first day of the next time period, which if we were running payroll in real time would typically be the current day. We're going to say that this is the month in. We're going to actually process the checks the next day, so on 11/01/21. And so the pay period is for the month ended October. We're going to pay it the first day in November. Check number should be processing as automatic here, so that should be okay. We're going to handwrite the checks and then apply these numbers to them. And so this should match our checkbook. Then we're going to check these off and we're going to assign once again going through these items and making adjustments that need to be made. In practice, if we are running full payroll, we're going to click on Anthony here. Then we would just need to make sure that the hours are okay and everything else will be filled out. We here are going to be entering the tax data. We're going to run very similar payroll here. So the data is going to be 163 and 3 hours of overtime. So this is the correct amount. Gross pay is up and running, 401k, and the health insurance are deducted as they should be. We then are going to enter in the federal withholdings, which is 187, the Social Security 259.63, and the Medicare 60.72. Then the employer side giving us the Social Security matching at 259.63 and the Medicare 60.72. Note there's no federal unemployment in California unemployment because those are capped off at very low caps. So in our problem, they're capping off around now. But in most payrolls, if we ran the whole year, in other words, they would be capped off sometime in the first quarter, the first 3 months typically, and we wouldn't have them in later months. That's why you really need to see the whole process of payroll to really see what's happening because you'll have some differences like that even if nothing else changes. So we're going to say save and next. Remember the net check. This is your check number 2052.35. Next check. We're going to have the 140 for Jill Jackson in terms of hours, no overtime hours, and then we've entered the data for the federal withholding, the 474, the Social Security, the 269.08, and the Medicare at 62.93, giving us that net check of 1,988.65. Remember that we also need the Social Security, 269.08 for the employer side and the 62.93 for the employer side. No FUTA, no SUTA. Once again, Jill Jackson has hit the cap and therefore we have no more SUTA and FUTA. Those are going to be things that will happen towards the beginning of the payroll process or if we have new employees that happen towards the later components or parts of the year. Next, we're going to say save and next, and now we're on Judy Jones. Judy Jones is our salaried employee at the $35,000, the big earner here, and so we have the salary of the $35,000, the 401k, the health insurance should populate automatically. We've got the federal withholdings we're going to have to enter at 7508.13, the Social Security we'll have to enter at 2170, and the Medicare will enter at 507.50. That should give us a net check of $21,564.37. That's your check number, both in terms of the check and to check work check number. And then we have the Social Security over here, same number on the Social Security as well as the Medicare. And Judy Jones has certainly hit the cap for the FUTA and SUTA, and therefore those are 0. One more employee that we get to enter here, and that's going to be Cindy Lewis. Cindy Lewis will have 161 hours of regular pay and the overtime 1 hour. That should be the same as the prior pay period, so we should be good going forward there. The 401k, the 401k and the health insurance should be there automatically, as well as the union dues. The federal withholding we're going to enter at 230.00. The Social Security we will enter at 282.10, and the Medicare we will enter at 65.98. That gives us a net check of 2,104.85, our check number. Then we're going to go over here to the Social Security for the employer portion, that being 282.10 and 65.98 for Medicare. Cindy Lewis as well has hit the cap for FUTA and SUTA, and therefore those are not there for this payroll period. Save and close, and that should do it. So check the dates one more time. We're at the end of October. We're going to pay the process in November 1st. That looks like the correct check number. Everything looks like it's lining up as it should, and therefore we're going to say continue. And then we're going to print the checks. And then we're going to take a look at the pay stubs as we have in the past. Just a quick preview of them. And remember that if we're writing the checks, we're going to have to give the pay stubs, and that's going to give the current check information. The pay stub similar to what we've probably seen on a pay stub, in whether it be a digital format or on an actual check. We would typically need to see this information. It'll give the current and the year to date, what has been earned, what has been taken, and therefore what the net amount of what we have received as employees is. I'm going to close that back out, close this back out, close this back out. Then I like to take a look at the check register by going to the banking up top and the use register and see if those checks were actually generated within the check register and say okay. Then we're going to go down here. Here it is, Jill Jackson, Judy Jones, Cindy, and Anthony. Don't forget about Anthony. We got the paychecks down here. These are actual paychecks. Double clicking on them will get us to that paycheck information. Also note it's useful to go back here and check these account numbers or the check numbers and make sure that they line up if we're actually writing the checks outside of the system. We want to make sure that these checks line up in the same order that we've written them. And if they don't, you can go in here and actually change the check numbers in QuickBooks typically. But usually it should line up. If you got it all lined up and if you're writing the same checks, you kind of want to write them in the same order so that the same check numbers will apply. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.